in relation to what we talked about yesterday evening, we'll learn a practice today. This practice my teacher used to call as Sandhya, sunrise and sunset. So we practice it in the night when we go to bed, and we'll practice it in the morning when we wake up. These 2 points where in the night we are about to fall asleep, we are in the in-between state, still sleep has not come, but we are not fully awake, and that point is called as sunset or Sandhya, the interval between the day getting over and the night starting. In the morning when we wake up, again there is one interval between waking up fully and sleep having got over. So we are in that half state. These half states in the Shastra are called as Arun. And they are very, very valuable. It is in those half states that all times meet, whether it is time of the Bhulok, whether it is time of the Bhuvalok or Swahalok, that is cellular time, molecular time, electronic time. What happens when we go to sleep? Most of man's energy comes from the sun. Science has not found an energy which does not come from the sun. Everything is created by the sun. Is there any energy which does not come from the sun? And does that energy only pertain to, is it only available to man or human beings? So when we sleep at night, the inner sun which gives what you call, which allows the cells of the brain to work, the body to work, something goes to meet that inner sun. So when we are going to sleep, the soul goes to meet the inner spirit. It drowns in the spirit, and when it comes out of the spirit, it comes with a very special energy. This energy we do not get from the food we eat. This energy we do not get from the air we breathe. This energy we do not get from the impressions we take. This is a very special energy. And this energy, when we wake up in the morning, when the inner patterns are awakening, we come with this pocket money of this energy when we wake up in the morning. This energy is very valuable, but we don't know how to protect it. Usually, by 10 o'clock, most of us are bankrupt. The rest of the day, we do not have this energy. It is this energy which allows us to register divinity, recognize divinity. But this energy gets lost immediately in one simple reaction. So, in the night I go to sleep, the soul goes to meet the spirit. The soul comes out of the spirit. So in deep sleep they have merged with each other. That is why deep sleep is also called as samadhi. And the soul comes out with this very, very special energy. It is this energy which allows us to recognize divinity. And we wake up with this valuable energy. My teacher used to call this energy the essence of consciousness. But one small negative emotion, it just may be something I have had some small misunderstanding with my son, and I say something, and all the end, that valuable energy is lost in one shot. Then, whatever I do in the day, whether I do puja, whether I do yoga, whether I do any other form of sadhana, it will not have an effect, because the very energy needed to recognize the divine, the energy which registers divinity, is no longer there. So, we must be very careful of these two periods. One when we are getting up in the morning, and one when we go to sleep at night. And it would be very nice if we could remain in these periods. Now in these periods we are going to do a mantra. And the mantra is Om Satyam Param Dhimahi. Om Satyam Param Dhimahi. Satyam is the absolute truth. Om, absolute truth. Dhimahi, we meditate upon. We don't want anything else in our life. Nothing lesser than the absolute truth will do. The absolute truth is not in any books. Even Lao Tse had to write the first line in Tao Te King. The Tao which is said is not the absolute Tao. So we are going to say at night when we go to sleep, and in the morning when we get up, we are going to say this mantra, Om Satyam Param Dhimahi. We are not going to say it loud, we are going to say it very, very softly inside. Second thing, it doesn't have to be said for a long period of time. 2 minutes in that in-between interval is a very big time. So now what we will do is, tonight, when we go to bed, we'll wait for sleep to come. Don't start saying the mantra when you are awake. You want to wait for sleep to come. And now you come to a point where you know now you can't control it, you are going to sleep. At that time you're in that in-between interval. You're in that valuable space which is known in the Shastra as Sandhya. Now in that space you start reciting this mantra, Om Satyam Param Dhimahi. I want the truth and only the absolute truth, nothing less, not colored by any religion, not colored by any groupism or something, the pure truth and nothing else. Say it a few times, say it from your heart and fall asleep. Even 1 minute will be good enough. You have brought consciousness in that moment when you are about to go to sleep and going to sleep, suddenly you're standing in between. Till now you could not control that moment. Now, because we have brought consciousness in that moment, we can extend that moment over a period of time. So, when you feel that sleep is coming, don't be too early. Let sleep start coming. Start feeling sleepy. You're lying in your bed, and then start saying Om Satyam Param Dhimani. Say it a few times. Hold that space, and if you can't hold it, go to sleep. This is very, very powerful. If you sit 100 years in meditation, you won't be able to get what you get in this one moment. So do this practice every night, because yesterday we talked about conscious death. I said let us add this practice to that. The second thing, when you wake up in the morning, please do not open your eyes immediately. Forgotten to. Please do not open your eyes immediately. Light ruins everything. The baby comes out of the mother's womb, and the minute it opens its eyes, light goes through the eyes, and light makes that baby forget everything. All the 9 months which it was in the mother's womb, all that memory is lost. When we die, nature has made it that at the moment of death there is light. And the light is so powerful, we forget everything about this birth. Gone. We forget. We wake up in the morning, we open our eyes, and we forget everything that happened at night. We even forget the dream which was happening 1 minute ago. Light makes us forget. So, in the morning when you wake up, please don't open your eyes. Try to remain a little in that sleep state. Hold that sleep state. Keep yourself drowsy. But in that drowsiness, you're totally attentive. And start saying this mantra, Om Satyam Param Dhimani. I want the truth, and only the absolute truth. I meditate upon that absolute. We meditate. That Dhimani is of course plural. Do it for 1 or 2 minutes is enough. That gap, that window, that penetrates all the 3 universes. Bhu, Bhuva, Swaha. In that gap, in that window, all our memory patterns, what we call as sanskar, lie in suspension. We are, for that momentary pause, we are free of them. It's such a beautiful moment. Later on, we will learn to extend that moment. Tat pratyeya ek tanta dhyanam. Patanjali says, what is meditation? What is dhyana? Tat pratyeya, that gap. Ek tanta, ene tanu. To stretch it. To stretch it is dhyana. Tat pratye ek tanta dhyana. Stretch it. Do we practice stretching in life? Do we practice stretching in life? Stretching from one moment to the other moment. We eat a chocolate. Do we practice stretching its taste in time? I'm not talking about stretching the body in asanas and all that. Okay. Do we practice stretching it? Do we practice stretching the tones of voice? She's talking to me and suddenly she pauses. Do I practice stretching the tone of her voice in time? This is meditation. Tat pratye ekanta dhyanam. Tanu. I don't know what to say in English. Stretch. The small joys of life. Practice stretching them. They happen in this moment, stretch them through a few moments. Because that feeling of stretching, it takes us into another time. I'm going to talk about 2 times, the horizontal or linear time, the vertical time. It takes us into another time. Every moment of our life is penetrated by eternity, by another time. It gives us a glimpse of eternity. That stretching, that taste of the chocolate, it gives us a glimpse of eternity. In that we are in no time, not in ordinary time. It's stretching. So, we are in that space, we've woken up in the morning, we've not opened our eyes. Hold that space, try to stretch that space and say the mantra, Om Satyam Arun. And because there are no hindrances in that moment. The hindrances are only sanskar. And there are no sanskar in that moment. You will penetrate and see the truth. You will experience the truth. It's such a powerful shortcut. Then don't immediately open your eyes. Feel the energies. Feel the energies. Energies will be moving at a slow speed. You're waking up in the morning. Sudden light is coming in all the cells of the brain. Everything is waking up. Just as when you go out in nature, the birds are chirping and the flowers are releasing their perfume, and the leaves are awakening, getting ready to make fruit from the sunlight. Right? Similarly, inside we are waking up. This experience of waking up is very important because we want to wake up from this dream. This is our aim, to wake up from this dream. So, just in that, feel the energies as they are waking up. Then stretch your body a little in the bed. Still don't open your eyes, right? Get up in the bed and give a loud laugh. Life is a dream. All the suffering is in the dream, right? Now when you see a movie, you'll say, she acted so well in all her suffering, right? Only we cannot detach from life. We are so identified with life. Give a big laugh and start your day. Can we do so much? Few minutes when we go to sleep at night, few minutes when we wake up in the morning. And we will be standing there in the interval between day and night, sunrise and sunset. That interval. There are so many intervals in life. So many intervals in life. Later on, maybe, if we are able to stretch a little, the highest practice of yoga is to steal from nature. The highest practice of yoga is to steal from nature. Now, have we understood the practice, sunrise and sunset? Om Satyam Param Dhiman. Right? Should we write it in English or it's okay? Now, like I said, we wake up with a very valuable energy. And this energy somebody wants to steal from us. Because she does not have that energy. And that is nature. Nature gets all her energy from the sun. But here in the night we have gone to meet the divine and we've come back with some energy from the divine. And that energy is not available in nature, and she wants that energy. So nature loves it when we get angry. Nature loves it when we get irritated. Nature loves it when we fight with one another. Because in that valuable energy which we've gathered in the night, we throw it out and she uses it for her purpose. She has so many aims. There are so many places in this universe where life is possible, but she cannot do it. She needs that divine energy to make life possible over there. She uses it for her purpose. She wants to steal from us. So in the morning, we get up with this energy and nature is ready to steal from us. But we steal from the stealer. We learn to steal from the stealer. Now nature is very sharp, very aware. Am I coming across in all this?
Yes.
Yeah? I have not made any program of what to talk over here. I'm just allowing it to. She is very sharp. And she realizes that there is a gap between us getting angry and us expressing the anger. Between the manifestation of the anger and the expression of the anger. I say something to her, she gets angry. But there is a gap between her getting angry and her throwing the anger upon me. There is a gap over there. The fact that we don't feel this gap is because our life is so mechanical. We get angry and we throw the anger, everything happens together. But there is a gap over there. I got irritated and I expressed my irritation. In between there is a gap. Nature is frightened. Nature is frightened. So, she says that supposing he has got angry and he does not express this anger, I will not get this energy. Right? So she gives a bridging loan. You know what is a bridging loan? You want to start a business, right? And you asked for a big loan from the bank, but the bank says that the loan will take 6 months to, pass, right? So you say, what do I do in 6 months? So the bank says, till the loan passes, we will give you a bridging loan. Just to tide over, right? A bridging loan. So nature says that supposing he does not get, so she puts in some energy into us, which makes us sleep through that gap. We don't feel that gap and we throw out the anger. She gets her energy back plus the divine energy which we have collected at night. And her work is done. Now what do we want to do? We want to fool nature, right? So we feel we are getting angry, we are coming in a state of reaction, any reaction, and we allow the reaction. We are conscious, we paused in the gap, we allow the reaction to manifest. Nature feels this guy is going to get angry, she gives us her energy. She gives us her energy, right? And the minute we get the energy from nature, we stop the anger and take both the energies back. This is the highest practice. This is very secret. No one talks about this. You won't find it in any books. It is only passed by the Guru to a very ready disciple. So, try to work on those two gaps, sunrise and sunset. I hope one day you will be able to work in that gap between the manifestation of anger and the expression of anger. Then you reach the highest point which is possible for a human being.
I don't know, what is the energy nature pursues to react? Which is the energy nature provides to react?
It is a grade of essence of consciousness. It is a grade of essence of consciousness. And in that energy you will understand all the mysteries of nature. All the mysteries of life. Right? I'll just give you another example. If you go to the temples of Khajuraho and the temples of Konark, there are so many scenes depicting sex. What happens at the point of orgasm? What happens at the point of orgasm? Or why does orgasm happen? I don't know. Is it alright to talk on this? Is it at that time the divine fragment sitting over here, the Atma sitting over here, he knows that you have to give birth to a new human being and he puts his blueprint into the sex energy. This is the blueprint of a human being. He puts himself, that divine, what do you call, the divine plan. Right? Now, in the old days, they used to go to tantric schools to learn for years and years. And they would, just as in anger we are fooling nature, they would fool the Atma inside. Tantra is fooling the Atma inside. They would enter into the sex act in such a way that the divine would feel that now the time is coming, that they are going to give birth to a new child. He would put in the energy. They would pause over there and take the energy back. Take the energy back. This is what is depicted in all those, what you call, carvings. In this whole science is depicted. Whether you go to Khajuraho or Konark, stage by stage it is being done. Similarly, of course, we are not trained in all that tantra. This I just gave as an example of what we are doing. But we can do it with anger. We can do it with irritation. We can do it with reaction. Right? And we'll be different people if we can do so much. So, in relation to what we talked about conscious death yesterday, this practice of Sandhya, sunrise and sunset, Om Satyam Param Dhimahi. Please do this practice. This simple practice will change your day, it will change your perception in the day, it will bring a transformation in our lives. Any questions on this? Anyone else? Otherwise I'll go ahead.
When you said about the last topic of stealing the energy from nature, it's only the negative emotion or any emotion we can work on?
Do we react in a positive emotion or do we react in a negative? We throw out.
Okay.
Right?
So any negative emotion.
I want to talk about the 6 processes if I get time. There are 6 processes in that. One of the processes is elimination. Right? So I eat my food, I have to get rid of the waste matter. That is elimination. I go to a gym, I perspire, I get rid of waste matter. But supposing I spit out my food, then I've got rid of it in a reaction. Without digestion, I've gone into elimination. You understand what I'm trying to say? Without digestion, I have gone into elimination. I'm in the wrong process. I'm in the wrong process. Right? Now, I have this food in my mouth and I vomit it out. Similarly, when you say something to me, you insult me, and I get angry, which process is it? Elimination. But it is not, it is elimination without digestion.
Okay.
You understand? If I digested what you had said, I would have understood. I would have said that, okay, she has some wound in her subconscious mind. Out of that wound, these words are coming. I would have digested. I would have understood. But you understand what I'm trying to say? But before the food going into the stomach, from the mouth only I vomited it out. This is called a reaction. This is called a reaction. Right? We vomit out. You see? She sees my red shirt and immediately reacts. Yesterday I bought a red shirt. Right? Now, she has not digested it yet. What she has seen. She has not allowed it to go into the stomach so that the digestive juices can work on it. She has vomited out. The whole day we are vomiting out. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? So nature is very happy. Nature is very happy. She gets what she wants. Right? And we don't realize that the Atma is only in a human being. It is not in animals, it is not in plants. She has no other source. You see? Because the Atma can only be where there is self-consciousness. In animals there is universal consciousness. Can you understand? Right? If a lion is hungry, he will kill his kill. No lion can say that today I am going to fast. Can he say? Right? A lion cannot say I want to fast today. So there is no self-consciousness in a lion. You understand what I am trying to say? So there is no individual Atma. There is a general Atma. Everybody has to do the same thing. A sunflower. When the sun rises, the sunflower has to look at the sun. But if one sunflower, today is Sunday, my holiday, why should I look at the sun? Right? It's not possible. So this energy is only possible in man, and nature cannot get it from anywhere else. She has to make you angry. She has to make you irritated. And you throw it out. We don't realize what we are losing. We don't realize what we are losing. Right? It is that, yeah, please.
I'm having a little difficulty accepting that I am in competition with nature. Because I am nature. The birds, the flowers, the greenery, they are also going through cycles of, in the morning
Yes,
they sort of
definitely.
quote unquote wake up and they have cycles just like I do.
Yes,
and so
but you are made of two parts. One part is nature and the other part is divine. You are made of two parts.
Well, that's where I'm having difficulty. Nature is divine and that's who I am. We are one, we're not two actually. Advaita.
First, sir, understand Dvait. Without understanding Dvait, how will you understand Advaita? Advaita does not mean one. Advaita means not two.
That's what I said.
It's not two. Right? Something totally different. It's something totally different. So first of all, what I'm trying to tell you is that you are nature also and you are divine also. The divine which is in you has descended from somewhere. The nature which is in you has evolved through thousands and thousands of evolutions. The divine never evolves. It is always as is. It never changes. Right? Have you experienced that part of you which never changes? You have not. Can you get? So, what you are talking about is only nature. Nature has come out of the divine. Nature wants to go back into the divine. But nature is that part of the divine which is always ever changing. It is evolving all the time. And the divine is that part which is nothing changes over there. It has evolved to whatever has to be evolved. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? So, in nature there is awareness. In the divine there is consciousness. And as we rise in awareness, we recognize the divine through the eyes of awareness. So that nature part of us which is animal, we work on transforming that nature part in us to make it human and then take it towards the divine from where it has come. Right? So what you're saying is true. Right? But once you start observing inside, suddenly you will see that the one who is observing is not nature, he is above nature. So man is nature, and there's something in man which is much beyond nature.
So that divinity does not exist in a bird that's chirping beautifully?
What I said, it is a general divinity. It is not. It does not allow the bird self-consciousness. All the birds have to do what is programmed in them. There is no self-consciousness. They don't have personal will. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? If all the lions come into heat, all the lions come into heat. Right? One lion cannot say, I'm practicing brahmacharya. But man will wear orange clothes and say, I'm practicing brahmacharya. That is his personal will. The lion does not have a personal will. Why does man have a personal will? Can you understand what I'm trying to say? Where does it come from? So it comes from a source where there is something individual. He has an individual divine fragment. They don't have an individual divine fragment. Everything is general. It is universal. They have a universal mind. We have an individual mind. You will say, I like yellow. I'll say, I like black. Right? But no lion will say, oh, you like deer, I like something else. There is no choice over there. What is in front of you, they will go for. Can you get what I'm trying? But you will say, I like brinjals and I don't like potatoes.
In a way, all these personal preferences you're talking about
Right.
are self-generated anyway. In other words, if I
But
want to live...
where do they come? What allows you to have a personal preference? You have an individual mind which is separate from somebody else's mind.
Well, it's true that there is a brain that has evolved that has the ability to self-reflect, which has actually made us lose ourselves in a way. But this self-reflection deviates us from being natural, like the lion, like the plants in the garden.
Yes,
like
but that is why it allows us to rise above nature. We don't want to go back into nature. We want to become something which is above nature. That is what man's destiny is. Not to go back into nature, not to become a lion.
Your instinct.
To transform the cells which have come in him from the lion into something divine.
What I feel, I don't want to take it, but what I feel is, what I'm hearing is that I want to be above nature, and I'm going, wow, the highest experience I can have is to be one with nature. That is my ultimate goal, and not have this self-reflection of the thoughts and memories and perceptions that I'm stored in my brain, and I'm reacting from there rather than responding naturally, just like the plant does, just like the bird does.
You're already reacting from there. the bird was to have the same intelligence, he'll say what nonsense he's talking about. Can you understand what I'm trying to say?
No, because I have not been brought up as part of nature. I was brought up in a city, so have all of us. Our education has not been a natural education.
Oh, why,
So
man?
we've been divested. We want to come back.
See, try to understand, man has something called culture, which in what you call, in Sanskrit we call as Sanskruti. Sanskruti, right? This Sanskruti means he is something more than just nature. Can you understand? Right.
I can't imagine something more than nature. What
But
else could
do you not have an aesthetic side, sir?
aesthetic?
Do you not have an aesthetic side?
But doesn't nature have that? The beauty that's in the clouds, when you go out on the wilderness, it's
But
magnificent. You
You,
can't create that.
you show me one species in nature apart from man who is able to appreciate that.
How do we know that?
See, there are no answers to your question, right?
Yes.
But what I'm trying to say is that you have an aesthetic side because you have something more than the animals, right? And you have come with that destiny. Whether you want to fulfill it or not is up to you. Whether you want to work towards it or not is up to you. But what you are talking about is just ideas in the mind, right? And you are not open to something beyond.
Well, actually, what I am talking about is to get rid of the ideas in my mind and just be one with nature, be natural. Is to give up the ideas.
I hope it
that
works for you. I hope it
No,
works
it's
for
not
you.
ideas, but
I hope it works for
apologize,
you.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that was very interesting discussion. Thank you for bringing that question. But I would like to move on to the something what I learned. It was very interesting actually. What you just said, I have never kind of realized that this is true, and I'm understanding what you are saying. So what you are saying that soul and spirit. So animal does not have the spirit.
Individual soul.
I see.
Yes, a general, because there's the mind is universal over there.
It's a collective
It's
soul.
collective.
I see.
So there is no Atma, there is Atma Tattva. There is no divine fragment, there is divinity over there.
I see. So when they talk about that, if your karmas would not be good enough, it may you may become an animal. So this our soul will have the potential to become animal also.
And we are already animal. We want to transform that animal,
Okay.
right?
Yes.
That does not mean you will take a form of a dog, but you may live like a dog. That is different.
So, yeah. So you are right. So we have potential, we have opportunity as a human to
Right.
transfer ourselves.
Right.
But I mean, when they say that when you don't utilize that, when you don't make use of that, then you again become animal. Is it true?
You
On the next birth, when they talk about,
okay, I get angry on her. Where has that anger come from?
and this is an energy.
See, every cell which lies within us, especially in the Manipur area, right? Those cells, where have they come from? They have come from evolution. They've come from evolution. There's a continuous process of evolution,
We
right?
have that animal as well.
So that animal is within me. It is not a question of whether I take birth as an animal or not. I am already an animal. Can you understand? She insults me, my teeth become like this. I am already an animal. Now, do I want to transform that or not? You get it? Huh? I feel uncomfortable, I react. I am already an animal.
human has both elements.
He has the choice to go back into the animal or to rise above it. This is his choice. This is his choice. Now, if whatever you call this life or whatever, if you don't exercise that choice, then you are going to go back into the animals. That does not mean you become an animal.
Now I'm talking about Atma's rebirth. That's what I was talking about.
But there is no Atma over there. How can it rebirth over there?
That's what I'm trying to understand. I'm hearing this for the first time, that when you take a rebirth, so far I have heard that, Jar Yoni Majavane, all those things. So what you are saying, that doesn't happen.
See, when the rishis write something, they are writing in a different time. Can you understand? When we understand in a linear time. This is man-made time. Can you get what I'm trying to say? We have no concept of time as energy. Right? Kal Dravya, we don't understand what they are talking about. We only think of time as seconds and clocks and hours and all that. That is man-made time. It has nothing to do with what is real. So when they are talking about 84 or lakh yonis, we think one after the other because we only know how to think digitally. We don't realize that this moment all 84 are there, lakh are there. Can you get what I'm trying to say?
Very, very interesting. It's very thought-provoking also, so it's very good.
One small story I'll say. In the Mahabharata there's a beautiful story. And there's this, what you call, beautiful lotus flower. And Draupadi sees it and she says, I want some more of these flowers. So she tells Bhim to go to get these flowers. And it's a very long story of how Bhim goes up into Kuber's garden to get those flowers. On the way, he meets Hanuman. And that's also long. I don't want to take the whole evening. Right? And Hanuman, in the Mahabharata, he explains to Bhim the 4 yugas. Sat Yuga, Treta Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, Kal Yuga. Yeah, he explains the 4 yugas. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? Now, thousands and thousands of books have been written. Satyug was at this time and this Yug was at that time. But this is not something which is digital. It is not something which has any relationship with linear time. In this moment, all the 4 yugas are within us. If I am a slave of time, I am in which yuga? Kali Yuga. If I have opened the light of intelligence, yaha naha dhyo prachodaya. If I have opened the light of intelligence, which yuga am I in? Sat Yuga. Can you understand? If I only live the duality of life, I am happy today, sad tomorrow, then I am in which yuga? Dwapar Yuga. You get it? If I am bound in the law of 3, we have not talked of the law of 3, which yuga am I in? Treta Yuga. This is not something, Sat Yuga was 84,000 years and such stupidity people write. And Ram lived in that time. Ram is now in the Sat Yuga. Ram means the one who plays. Ramayate iti Ramam. The one who plays. If you learn to play the game of life, you are Ram. That intelligence which allows you to, but we are not Ram, we are all crying in life. So, Hrudayate iti Ravana. This is the story of our life. Hrudayate iti Ravana. The one who cries is Ravana. We have no aim in life. The aim to be free from this dream of life. That is Lakshman, Lakshya. Can you understand?
Very interesting.
Ram marries Sita. Sita means Shitalta. When you play the game in life, every moment you are full of bliss and happiness. Sita, you are married to Sita. You Satyug. So in this moment, if you are in bliss and happiness, which yuga are you in? You are married to Sita. You are in the Satyug. Get it?
No, very, very nice. Very thought-provoking.
Yes, yes, sir.
I lost a thought about what you were saying,
Right.
but it was a good discussion.
I was talking of those two moments.
Understand.
I was saying that nature gives us something because she wants that energy.
So what you say that by reacting or vomiting,
Hmm.
we are giving energy to the nature.
Nature.
If we act, it's the same thing.
Pardon?
If we act,
That is what I'm saying. Act. Allow nature to be fooled. I am going to get angry. She gives you a bridging loan. Take it and run away.
but that, so don't react.
Then don't react.
But if you act, if you act,
Yes.
then that energy goes away also.
I don't understand.
When you act, like you said, there is a moment where we have to
Now, what is real action? What is right action? We have to talk about it. Right? We have to talk about it. Actually, my subject was the Gayatri Mantra. I don't know, I've gone this way, that way, everything except Gayatri. Yes, yes, please. Please sit down, please sit down, please.
You telling that all the Brahman is in me. Ram is me, Ravan is me, love is me, or any negative or any positive, every action is in me. Oh, everything is me, so I don't have to think about Satyug, Trayug or Jnana. Everything is combination is with around my soul.
I know that the 101 Kauravas are within you. Right? See, what I'm saying is that try to go deeper than the sensual thinking. Right? You're reading the Mahabharata. Now today, I want to steal something from your pocket. So which character do I become? Shakuri.
Animal.
Shakuri. Right? I want to make effort towards my aim. Which character do I become? Arjun. Right? There is total chaos in my life. I just live the way I like every moment. A lot of today's modern art is just chaos. They just put on the painting what they feel like putting on. So what am I? There is no Anushasana in my life. I am Dushasana. There is no discipline in my life. I am Dushasana. So are these characters within us or not within us? Okay. The biggest yodha is desire. I cannot defeat him. Kamna. Each moment there is kamna. Right? I want to live like this. He also wants to live like that. There is desire. And one desire goes, so many others spring up. Many people come and tell me, after I earn so much money, I will come to spirituality. And spirituality is not after earning so much money, it is how you earn the money. With what attitude you earn the money. What is your relationship to money in spirituality? Can you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, but
so Duryodhan, Du Yodham Saha, the warrior which cannot be defeated, desire.
So you mean whatever the desire is, animal doesn't have that, or they have to stop to grow? It's just.
Does the animal have desire?
Why?
It has a universal desire for 4 things. Ahar, bhay, maithun, nindra.
How about their own children? They love their children. There
It
is
is-
a compassion.
There is instinctive love of the children. It is programmed in them that up to so much time you have to love the children. And then in some animals it is also programmed, if you are hungry you eat up your own children.
So animal cannot grow more.
Hmm?
Animal cannot go divine fully.
I don't want to get into all that. We are getting into the wrong track. But you can. Whether an animal can or cannot, you can. Right? And you have to awaken the intelligence which recognizes the divine. That should be your effort. Not bothered about whether an animal can or cannot. There are many people in the world who are already bothering about it. Leave it to them. We don't understand the causes in life, madam. All the causes in life lie in a very invisible dimension. We don't have the eyes to see that dimension also. What we see are only effects. What we see are only effects. We can't see the causes of things. Each thing which happens in life has more than 7 causes. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? I only say, she insulted me, that is why I got angry. That is all I can see. I cannot see beyond. I can't even see why that insult came to meet me. What was the cause? Why that insult came to me? Why this disease came to meet me? What was the cause? Where do the laws lie? What are these laws? That should be your inquisitiveness. I want to know. I want to understand. What is this mystery of living? What is the mystery of life? Is there a way to understand? No? Then you will understand about the animals. But if I tell you, you will just argue with me. Right? Well, where have we come?
I was telling the story about being going to collect the flowers.
No, that I just told about the 4 yugas to explain the 4 yugas. It's a very long story. It's a beautiful story. Yeah, but
Will you explain the 7 causes in any time?
No, we are going back to where we how to steal the basically.
yeah, so I'll stop over there.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'll give one more practice. One more practice. Because please do the sunrise and sunset. Like I hope you've written it down. Right? Now, another practice which we are going to do is that after getting up in the morning, I hope most of you were in the exercise session, right? Do the exercises, do Omkar, we have learnt Omkar, and arrange your day so that you can go back to sleep. So supposing you have to go to office at 7 in the morning, right? Try to finish all your practices, that is your Omkar and exercises by 5:30 or 5:45, and try to go back to sleep for half an hour. Try to go back to sleep for half an hour. Okay? Now what are we going to do with this half hour? First of all, we want to relax the body. Tomorrow I'm going to make you all practice a relaxation. Sitting we'll practice. So you will get some idea what I'm talking about. Then you want to fall asleep. But you don't want to fall asleep into deep sleep. Right? So you'll have to keep something which, what do you call, gives you an indication. Now I'll tell you what I did. Right? What I did. See, when my guru was teaching this to me, this was 1991. Right? And in those days, the old clocks were still available. Now all the clocks have become digital. So the old clocks, whether you can have one, you may have one in your home or something, I don't know.
Analog.
Right? So we used to wind those clocks with a key. So what I did is I got a clock and I would wake up, do everything, and going back to sleep, I would only wind it up little more than half a key, not even one full key. Not completely, just this much. So it would just ring, the alarm would just ring, that much. Otherwise it will go ring, it goes on, you know. We don't want that. Can you understand? So this you have to arrange some way. I don't know with these digital clocks how they work, right? So, because there's no way of only so much. They may continue till you, then you have to press a button, snooze or something. Right? Okay. So the idea is that in the morning time, we always move into dreams. Second thing is that all the dreams which are reactions to the day come early in the night. So by morning, the dreams which are coming are not reactive dreams to the day. In the day she and I fought, then in the night I balance that by my dream, whatever way I want to balance it. So I'm now coming to the early morning, so I get up, I do my exercises, I do the Omkar, and I go back to sleep. I lie down on my bed, I relax my body point by point, I relax my body, turn on the right side and go to sleep. If you turn on the right side, the left nostril will start. It is connected with the right brain. Right? The right brain will be activated. So now the dreams which come from the right brain will have a much higher quality than the dreams which come from the left brain. Right? So we turn on the right side, and just at the point of when you're going into sleep, you arrange that alarm. So if it is 10 minutes, you arrange after 10 minutes. If you feel it, you'll be able to do it in 5 minutes, do it after 5 minutes. Right? Now at that point when you're just falling into sleep, that alarm will ring, ring, and it will remind you that you are in your dream. And you will start observing your dream. You will wake up. If the alarm rings too much, then you will wake up from your sleep completely. Then everything is spoiled. We just want the alarm to ring that softly. So there in that state, I got an indication. I will start looking at the dream. I'll start working with the dream. Just try to reach this state of observing the dreams. Right? This is years of practice, sir. Years of practice. Because whatever dreams we will observe are REM dreams, REM. These are dreams which science can record. They record in their, laboratories. They talk about lucid dreaming. Many people have taken everything from Tibet and written books on lucid dreaming, etc. But as we are able to hold this state, later on we will be able to go into dreams where science says there is no dream content. And those will be totally different kinds of dreams. Right? So I just wanted today to talk a little about this in relation to yesterday's talk of conscious death. Right? Please do this practice. Arrange your time in such a way. It will, apart from the practice, it will give you a lot of benefits in your life. Can you see? I get angry on her. Am I in a dream or not in a dream? I am hypnotized by that anger. I am in a dream. But in the morning, every day when I am practicing to wake up in the dream, suddenly I get irritated, angry, I wake up. It will bring a transformation in my normal living. I will stop reacting. Just that half an hour practice in the morning. Not only that, it will bring you a deep feeling as if all the cells of your body have been relaxed. Your awareness in the day will be of a different quality. Your intelligence, your perception to do your work will be of a different quality. So this is what I wanted to yesterday, because the time was over, talk about, is that one is the Suryodaya, Suryast practices, Om Satyam, Param Dhimahi, and the second thing is do this practice, get up, finish your exercises, do Omkar, go back to sleep, right? Yeah.
How much is the time difference? Get up and then do your exams. Half an hour break.
Try to keep it around 40 minutes to 1 hour. 40 minutes to 1 hour.
And if it's less than, say you're not doing your exercises, you're just doing your Omkara and going to sleep, maybe 5-10 minutes, is that okay? Or?
See, I still have some time, so I'll just talk a little bit about sleep.
Okay.
I'll just talk a little bit about sleep. Now when we go to sleep at night, the brain which makes language, the brain which, conceptualizes the world outside, that is the one which starts going to sleep, right? So language dies down. A point comes where we'll just see small pixels like we see in the TV, and we go to sleep, right? Now, for about 5 to 10 minutes, we remain in a state of medium level sleep, right? And by 15-20 minutes, we go into what is called deep sleep, right? And that first deep sleep of the night is the longest, In normal man, it should last for 1 hour. Today I have seen it's because of the fast life we have. Like he says, we have not gone back to nature. It has been reduced to about 40 minutes. People can't sleep well. They can't sleep well. So it has been reduced to 40 minutes. Now once that 40 minutes to 1 hour period is over, so that is nearly little more than 1 hour after going to sleep, we start coming back into medium level sleep, right? And instead of waking up, that those dots, those pixels which science calls as hypnagogic imagery, they go to create the first dream of the night. And this is clear. Now in the dream we are gifted with something which is called sleep paralysis, right? So in the dream, if I see her and she offers me a cup of tea, I may take that tea, I may even drink the tea, but my hands are still on the bed. They don't get up to, I don't lift my hand in the sleep to take the tea, right? So that is because something has come into me which is called sleep paralysis, right? Now again this cycle will repeat. This cycle will repeat, right? But now the deep sleep period will cut down from maybe 40 minutes to 30 minutes or even 20 minutes. And when I go back to the dream period, the first dream was say for 10 minutes. Now the next dream will be much longer. As morning comes, the deep sleep period will be less than 5 minutes or maximum 5 minutes. And the dream period will be very long. That is why we practice in the morning. And we go into a state of sleep paralysis. And if we can relax the body properly, the brain also gets paralyzed. And then what is watching the brain, what is watching this is not a part of the brain. It is something which is separate from the brain. You can call it sleeping brain, conscious mind. That is why that sleep paralysis is very important, because in the morning period, and you see the attack comes after 1 hour. So you get up, right? And you do your thing and you go to sleep after 1 hour and the attack comes again. The attack also happens many times in the day, but we don't realize it. You will go to office, but at 11 o'clock you will feel like having coffee. Why do you feel like having coffee? That attack of sleep paralysis has come. The cycle is repeated. You understand? Right? And this happens to everybody. Get it? So make use of that sleep paralysis. Right? Normally this monkey is chattering all the time. It doesn't stop for a moment. But in that state, when we are in sleep paralysis, the monkey has calmed down. And when the monkey has calmed down, something beyond the monkey is looking. We cannot go beyond the monkey because it never calms down. You understand? Right? So, just try this. That is why I said, even a small experience, something, the perception will change, the intelligence will change, everything will change. And it will be a practice for death. Because yesterday I said, 55 days we are in the dream. 55 days we are in the dream, and we practiced every day. So in that dream also we'll be awake and we'll be doing our thing over there. Can you get it? But if you've not practiced, then to be awake in that dream is difficult. Practice it. Then death is not death. What can it do? Can't do anything. Right? This is what I wanted to talk about today. And now, how many talks do we have left? Yes, please.
Yeah, you say about the 1% or 99% of the after the death, the pretatma or ghost or having possibility of if you can flashlight if something.
See, 99% is all hysteria. I'll tell you a story. I had a business. And that business, I hired a go-down to keep all my supplies. And the go-down I hired was one old house. It was huge. So many rooms, and there was a huge thing right going to the road. It was like if you're standing on the porch of the house, the whole road is so far away, and all the coconut trees going to the road. And I hired that. And just take this. Some truths are stranger than fiction. Don't ask questions. So one day I wanted to fit a fan where I was sitting, So I'm talking about 1977. So I called the person to fit the fan. So there's a very high ceiling, so he needed that huge, ladder kind of stool. And he came with his helper. In those days in Gujarat, the helper is a young boy. He's a young boy. And that is his helper. So he came with his helper, and he told the boy that chai piviche. So you go out and get me some tea. And then he of course forgot. And then he started putting the fan, and he was like, dismiss. Right? And then he saw from the gate right outside that the boy was coming with the tea, and he's wondering who's giving me the distress and who's giving. He fell down the whole stool, he gathered his things and he ran. He said, I don't want any money, I don't want anything, I'm not fitting your fan, you call somebody else. Right? Happens in life. Yeah.
Just a quick question on following up with your previous topic. You were saying about the timing, the sleeping time and everything else. Do we have to tie this with the actual sunset? Or
No, don't go into all this. I'm talking about the inner sunrise and sunset.
That's very good, because I like to wake up late in the morning.
Yeah, that's okay. Don't worry about it. I get up at 2 in the morning when I get home.
You have 3 more days, Rajen.
We have 3 more. One at Sarthi that is fixed.
On Wednesday.
On Wednesday. So we have tomorrow and Thursday.
Thursday is only question answer.
Only question answer.
Yeah.
Okay, so what do we want to do tomorrow? We take the meaning of the Gayatri Mantra tomorrow?
Yeah, so
We take the meaning.
skip pranayam. There is another subject topic is
Hey, what is...
pranayam.
I taught the breathing exercises. Then what do you want to know about pranayam?
No, it's on the topic.
ઓમકાર હતો આપણે.
ઓમકાર એટલે પ્રાણાયામ લખેલું છે અંદર. છે. Okay, so આપણે continue with the Gayatri.
Gayatri Mantra.
Yes.
At least,
Yeah, continue.
what is hidden in the Gayatri? At least let us, we are sitting in the Gayatri
Sure.
center.
Yeah.
So let us at least talk about it tomorrow.
By the way, today it's been leftover time.
We have 5 more minutes. Yeah.
No, we can say 7 to 9.
Is it 7 to 9? Okay, so then let them ask questions.
Can we do this? Today was on Mahabharata. Can we pick up Krishna or Arjun? Whatever you buy, you can choose.
What are the causes? You said one should have the curiosity to find the causes of why that disease came to my life. What is that hidden?
What I am.
Yes.
What is a real autobiography? Can the human form have an autobiography, or is there an eternal autobiography? We don't see the drama of life. We don't see the drama of life. The drama of life has been written in this book called the Mahabharata. Every character which is lying in our psychic structure is there. And the real autobiography is of those characters, not of our physical form. I find it very difficult because recently I had to go for a wedding. Right? And in the wedding, these two people, they're getting married. And then they will talk, the mother will talk of how my baby grew up and this and that and all that. And then they talk of how he grew up and what he did and all that. And we are so identified with outer form, we never see the inner. And we don't realize that all this has no relevance. Five sense organs. And they have 101 inclinations in life. 101 things which take the energy and attention from inside, outside. The whole spiritual journey is how to take the attention and energy from out to in. And that is done through conscious effort. So we have this book called the Mahabharata, which is the symbology of all this. Today, whom do you want to talk about today? I don't know. Krishna. Good. He was born in a jail. But on his birth, the doors of the jail opened up. What does it mean? Okay, when we rise to a certain state of consciousness, we are free of the jail of life. We are free of the jail of sanskars. The doors will open up automatically. Now there is one more character in the Mahabharata. His name is Bhishma. What is the similarity between Krishna and Bhishma? Both were the 8th children. Both were the Eighth son. Eighth son. Bhishma was also the eighth son. Krishna was also the eighth son. What is the story of Bhishma? What is the story of Bhishma? What is the story of Bhishma? The eight Vasus, they went for a picnic in Vashishta's garden. And in the garden, Vashisht had this beautiful cow, which fulfilled all their needs, right? And so one of the Vasus, the wives, told the husband that I want that cow. So they stole that cow. Vashisht came back and he cursed them to be born in the world of men. Be born in the world of men. Right? Now, in the world of men there is suffering. In heaven there is no suffering. Right? Swarg, there is no suffering. And nobody wants to suffer. Nobody wants to. Everybody wants to run away. Even the devas run away from suffering. Right? So, what did they do? What did those eight Vasus do? They went to Ganga. And Ganga had already been cursed to be born in human form. Right? So they went to her and they said, we will come as your children. We will come as your children. Right? But you have a duty that we don't want to live in this world of suffering. The minute we are born, you throw us in the Ganges. Throw us in the Ganga. Right? So that we are released from this mortal chains. So Ganga, of course, she married Shantanu. That is a long, long story. Right? And she told him that you won't ask any question of me. And 7 children were born. She drowned them in the Ganges. The 8th son she was going to drown, Shantanu asked. And of course, that was the one who had really taken the cow. So he was born as Bhishma. She gave it to the king, said, I am going, keep your son, I am going. And right, she left. What does this story tell us? Something manifested in the world of men, but behind that there were 7 unseen dropped in the Ganges. Right? Now, what is Bhishma within us? What is Bhishma within us? The ego. The ego. Bhishma comes from the word bhi, to frighten. To frighten. When I said on the first day, when we are born, all the experiences of life go to the soul. But about 4 or 5 years, something else is built within us called an ego. It starts with our name. Because the name is something given, it is not the soul. Right? It starts with the name. And this name forms an ego, I, whatever my name is. And that ego frightens the soul to go to sleep, and the rest of the life, all the experiences go to the ego. That is Bhishma. Now you just see, Krishna was born, the doors of the jail opened. Bhishma spent his whole life in the jail of his pratigya. Can you see? Run away from suffering, you are in jail. What did the 8 Vasus want? Run away from suffering. Krishna was born after 7 children, but after deep suffering. His mother had to go through deep suffering. Now there's a story in that. The story is that Kans was sitting in the forest and Narad came to meet him. Now the story of course goes that Devaki was Kans's cousin, but he treated her better than a sister and he loved her a lot. And when he was giving Vidai, these divine sounds came, the voice came from the sky that her 8th son will be the cause of your death. Right? So then he imprisoned her. And then Devaki's husband Vasudev went to Kans and said that, look, the 8th child will be the cause of your death. Why are you worried now? Not even the first child has come. I will give you all the children. I'll give you you free her. So he freed her from jail. Then he was sitting in the forest, Kans, and Narad came to meet him. And Narad asked him, how did you count the number 8? Right? How did you count the number 8? If you count the last son as number 1, then the one which is to be born now is number 8. If you count the 7th son as number 1, then the second one is number 8. How did you count number 8? So then Kans, of course, he got into Narad's this thing. I came back, put them into jail again. I had to kill all 8. Right? Why did Narada do this? Why did Narada do this? Why did Narada? Come on. Huh?
To create fear.
To suffer.
To suffer. If Devaki went through that period of conscious suffering of losing the 7 children, her womb becomes ready for Krishna to be born. It is a paripakwa. How to call it in English? I don't know how to say it in English. A paripakwata, a yonini paripakvata, to give birth to Krishna. And that is what Narada wanted. Can you see? So here consciousness is born, the doors of the jail open out. There Bhishma was born. He lived his whole life in his psychological jail, that of I have to look after the throne of Hastinapur. Can you see the? Now, where does consciousness live? In which psychological space does consciousness live? See, we live in different psychological spaces. Right? 2 of us may be dining on the same table. But physically we are close together. But thinking you may be in one end of the world, I may be in the other. So we only look together. Psychologically we may be somewhere totally different. Yeah. And supposing my whole day I'm spending how to take revenge upon her. So what kind of psychological space am I living in? Gata. I may have a beautiful home. In this beautiful home I'm sitting on a beautiful cushion and I'm how to take revenge on her. I'm living in the gata. Right? Okay. So in which psychological space does consciousness live? Happiness, peace, bliss. So where does Vasudev take the young Krishna across the river Yamuna? In which gaon? Nandagaon, Anandagaon. Consciousness lives in Anand. Can you understand? Everything is very symbolic. Everything, the way he takes him across, how the river rises to touch his feet, how he's sucking the thumb of his toe in that cycle of yin and yang of the universe, how the snake comes and tries to stop the rain. Everything is so symbolic. The rising of the Kundalini energy. And you see all those symbols. It can take hours to go into each symbol if we go into each symbol. Right? And they go into which place? Nandagaon, Anandagaon. Consciousness. Wherever there is consciousness, there is always happiness and bliss. Otherwise there can be no consciousness. Now who lives in Nandagaon? Who lives in Nandagaon? The gopis. Go, what does the word go mean? Grindriya, the 5 senses. The one who drinks life through the 5 senses. Gopi, Indriyati Piyu. Indriyati Piyu. Right? And Indrati pure and transform it into consciousness. So, this whole, if you go into the childhood of Krishna, everything is so symbolic. It's all telling about how to attain to that inner Krishna, to awaken that inner Krishna, the inner consciousness. Right? So these are some things, but the whole Mahabharata, the Ramayana, they're all full of this symbology. The Bhagavad, full of this symbology. Yeah.
Mahabharata, I have a question.
Right.
Duryodhana, when he's about to die, he's laying on his deathbed.
Right.
He has a litany of the things that Krishna did, the deviousness, the trickery and all that. And he says, I am a Kshatriya. I live by the principles of being a Kshatriya. And well, you did, and he had this whole litany of things that Krishna did, which sort of he was, I guess, complaining or whatever. They look, you know, you think you are who you are, but look to what you've done. So what do you have to say about that?
It's very difficult to understand a person like Krishna. Very, very difficult. Because he does not fit in any of our norms, fixed norms. Now, you take the Gita. There is no other book in the world which is totally complete. You understand what I'm trying to say? Right? Say tomorrow you want to go and murder someone. You will say it is written in the Gita that the soul cannot die. I am just killing the form. I did not murder him. What was written in the Gita, I did. Can you get what I'm trying to say? So to understand Krishna is very difficult. Very difficult. See, we have two figures of Indian mythology, Ram and Krishna. Ram awakened, but he followed the fixed path. The fixed path. It is not that he did not know that Sita would be taken away by Ram. Right? He knew. He knew. But he wanted to go through the suffering consciously. He did not want to change anything. He did not go against his father. He did everything in the social norms, and that was his path. Krishna, no fixed path. Every moment, what is dharma is my path. If today dharma needs that I have to cheat somebody, then that is my path. Can you understand? Yudhishthira had a big ego that I only speak the truth. You see, no? People who speak the truth, big ego. I speak the truth. But the ego is the biggest lie. That they don't understand. Can you get what I'm trying to say? And he's telling him that the ego is the biggest lie. But I speak the truth, that my chariot rises above the ground. Of course, I'll always fly in the air because I am so good, I speak the truth. And he says, you will have to say a lie. Now, that was dharma. That was dharma. It was dharma. It was dharma because it was dissolving the ego. Dissolving the ego is dharma. Even by telling a lie, if you have to dissolve the ego, it is dharma. Because lies and truth, what man made is just morality. It has nothing to do with spirituality. Understand? So to understand Krishna is very difficult. His dharma was every moment, no fixed path like Ram. In this moment, what is right will be done. In this moment, to win this victory of dharma, if I have to cheat, then cheating is right. Because in dharma, the ego is direct. Duryodhana is a big part of our ego. He has to be killed. And he is the warrior who cannot be defeated. Du yuddham saha. The warrior who cannot be he can only be defeated by trickery. Right? So, man is gifted with cunningness, man is gifted with intelligence, he uses that to rise higher in consciousness. That is right use of cunningness. But I may use that cunningness to cheat you of some money, then I don't know, it may or not, right? That is different. But right use of cunningness to rise in consciousness. And wherever you rise in consciousness and the ego dissolves is the path of dharma. So that is what Krishna was doing. Duryodhana is a big part of our ego, very big part of our ego. Yeah.
So that the prarthana or mantra you say to say the Satya is the absolute truth. That's the dharma?
Pardon?
Does that mean dharma?
Dharma is the path which leads to the truth. Dharma is the path which leads us to Satya. Satya. You know, in one temple in South Africa, I talk every year for 5 weeks. And the priest of that temple, the government of South Africa, they called this thing, you know, a sort of platform where people from all religions would be represented. So from the Hindu religion, he had to go to speak over there. So he called me and he said, I have to speak in the afternoon. You please write something for me and send it to me. On Hinduism. So in Hinduism we have 4 purushas. 4 purushas. Earth means aim. Purush, the effort I make for my aim. They are called dharma, artha, kama, moksha. Dharma, artha, kama, moksha. I said these are the 4 purushas, the 4 actions which lead to truth. The 4 actions, the aim is what? Truth. So I wrote a long article that Hinduism is not a religion, it is a way of living. Anyone who lives these 4 purushas is automatically a Hindu.
It's a labor. It's a labor. No book.
So, what is the first purusha? Kama. Kama means energy. Energy can go out, energy can go in. Energy has come from Shiva. Shiva gave rise to Shakti. Shiva gave rise to nature. Nature is energy, Prakruti. Shiva is Purush, the divine. From Shiva, energy was born. He gave her the task, you go and create the universe. He did not do anything, he was just a watcher. Right? So, I said, energy is, what do you call? It can either go out or it can go in, but the intrinsic desire of energy is to return to the source. Shakti wants to go back to, this is her intrinsic desire. And that road, that pathway, right, which takes energy back to the source is dharma. So karma is energy. We are all gifted with energy. We have the choice whether to waste energy in sansar or to take that energy back to the source. If we decide to take that energy, then we are performing the second purusha, right, of dharma. We are taking the energy on the path of dharma. To take this energy back onto the source, we will have to have different aims. If I know if I react with her, my energy is going out. So I have a small aim. For the next 1 hour, I don't want to react. I know if I complain about anything, the energy will go out. So I say, okay, instead of fasting with food, every Thursday I will not complain. That is my fasting. Every Thursday I will not find fault with anybody else. That is my fasting. So to reach the ultimate earther, you need so many small earthers. When the ultimate earther will come, we don't know. But today at least I make an aim for today that I will not get negative. I will not get aggressiveness. Aggressiveness is a quality of the ego. I will try to be free of arrogance. These are small aims which I will make for today. So, Kama, Dharma, Artha. And if I do practice my aims properly, in this one moment, if I can observe that anger, I'm free of that anger. That is moksha, freedom. Anyone who practices this is a Hindu, right? He's a Hindu, he's walking on this path, and this doesn't matter to which religion he belongs. So I wrote that article and it was the most appreciated article. So, this is it. Good. Yeah. Huh? ના પૂછો બેન તમારું રાજ છે બેન.
I have one question. That one person is doing a lot of study about religion, humanity, or whatever study, and lot of things he getting, fighting with all the negativity, means anger and all this thing, and try to go ahead. The other person is not going too much deep in whatever Shastra or whatever knowledge or anything. But he is, as soon as he wake up, he try to do service the people. He try to help the people. He don't even thinking what is a negative, what is this. Try to help the people. I cannot do anger because I have to help him. I have to be a compassion. And now can you give me analytical approach that who is near the divine, or the both the way is right, or which way?
See, if he is helping people mechanically, without consciousness.
What is mean by that? I understood that one person is dying, needs the food or something. With the compassion, I'm running and giving help.
If I am helping others, and if the ego is becoming strong that I am the helper, I am helping.
I don't worry about the ego as far as this person
I'm just
will be
answering.
really energetic.
Then I don't want to know what you are doing. I'm only answering your
Yeah, okay.
question. Don't defend yourself.
Okay.
Don't defend yourself. Only the ego needs to defend itself. Truth never needs any defense. Right? So don't defend yourself. Just try to understand what I'm saying. It is very good to help other people. Right? But always have the humility that we can only help as per our level of understanding. We cannot help anyone beyond our level of understanding. Right? If somebody is suffering, I do not have the eyes to see why he is suffering. Right? So, say you will help him, but I am helping him through my own understanding. It may be right, it may be wrong also. Because it is my concept of what I feel is real help. It may be right, it may be wrong. Try to understand. In Zen there is a story. In Zen there is a story that one Zen master, there was a norm in the ashram that you had to ring a bell when there was a time of food or waking up or something. And this student was ringing the bell. He came from behind and he hit the student with a bamboo on the head. right? The student died. He was criticized a lot. Now, you tell me, was he right or was he wrong? If that student in that hitting of the stick rose in consciousness and that death was a conscious death, I would say he did the right thing, and maybe the Zen master knew what he had to do. So whenever we are helping people, just say to yourself, I am helping through my own understanding. The reality is, it's very difficult to help anyone. The I cannot help anyone. Now I'll just give you another example. Supposing there are two pools in life. The aggressive pool and the calm pool, which in Christianity is called God and devil. Supposing there are two pools in life. Supposing I get very angry on you, irritated upon you, which pool is all that energy going into? Huh? Devil. Right? Some years ago, one girl was raped in India. And the whole country was rising. This should not happen, that should not happen. Were they going to create more rapes? Can you understand? Were they throwing out what you call violent thoughts or peaceful thoughts? Tell me. Violent thoughts. Where are all those violent thoughts accumulating? They were going to go into somebody else's mind and make him rape somebody else. We feel we are doing the right thing through our understanding. If those thousands and thousands of people had sat in silence, maybe they would have saved somebody from being raped. But they were all throwing out violent thoughts. This should not happen. Can you understand what I'm trying to say? So whenever we are helping somebody, we only help through our level of understanding. Level of understanding. Say that to yourself and do it. Don't make an ego. I am helping somebody else.
I'm just asking, there are two people, not me, but there are two people.
Right.
One is working very hard.
Don't compare it that way. We don't know.
Who is near the divine?
We don't know. The one who is conscious is nearer to the divine. The one who is conscious is nearer to... Now, you heard of the 1% effect? The 1% effect. This monkey is chattering all 24 hours. Right? In the Gita, Arjun says it is easier to tame the wind. Pavan ne roku, selu chepan. Krishna, aa man ne to roki nahi saku. I won't be able to stop this mind. Now, if one person's monkey becomes calm, it automatically affects another 100 people in that area. Whether they know it or don't know it. Just by calming his monkey, within that small radius there will be no crimes. There will be very little negativity. He has not gone out to help anyone. Try to understand. He has calmed his own monkey. He may go in the jungle and calm the monkey. But in that automatic calming of the monkey, 100 other people are automatically affected. He has already helped them, whether they know it or don't know it. Now if you see in one town of 1 lakh people, 100,000 people, if 1,000 people become calm, there will be no need for any social worker to go and help anyone in that town. Help will come automatically.
But you talking about the transfer of the negative energy in positive, that's the divine reaching. So when somebody transfer their negativity into the positive work in compassion, is not spreading the divine?
That is what I'm trying to tell you, that we only help people through our level of understanding. That is what I'm trying to tell you. But a person who is doing nothing to help people may be helping more than what we are helping. Because his mind has calmed down. His mind has calmed down. Supposing you bring your car in front of mine and I go, right? Have I thrown out a violent thought or have I thrown out a peaceful thought? Violent thought. Now supposing that thought which I have thrown out becomes somebody else's thought and he goes and murders somebody. Who is responsible for that murder? The person who murdered or the person who threw out the thought? You tell me. We don't see life, madam, we don't see life. You help people, go ahead and help people. Our aim in life is to calm the monkey. If we are calm, whatever we do, we automatically help people. But if this thing is chattering all the time, then whatever help we are doing is from this state of confusion only. What we understand. Anyway, I'll stop over here.